Hey, what's up, guys, and welcome back to another Real Madrid preview. This is the preview to RB Leipzig versus Real Madrid. The Champions League is back, and of course, we've got RB Leipzig as we know and as we have known, but this is the time now. Uh, it felt like the time went by really fast because I remember it felt like just yesterday the draw came out, and then they were there saying it'll be played in February 14th and 15th and all sorts. Um, but we are finally here. So, look, it is going to be a very tough game because RB Leipzig are a decent side. We know before we've played against them before, and we know that they are a good side. We know they're capable of doing um, things that are unpredictable. And this first game is away in Leipzig at the Red Bull Arena, which I think is a good thing that the first leg is away, and I think Real Madrid will have to use that to their advantage because the home game in the second leg, the Madrid crowd, fans, the Santiago Bernabeu, Madridistas, everything combining is um, very strong in a sense that when if we are losing the first game and we go back to the Bernabeu for the second game, it obviously helps the team out better. Um, so realistically, this tie in general should be. You would think that it would be pretty straightforward. I know everyone's talking about this game as probably being the most even out of every game because you know like Copenhagen, Man City, we all know who's gonna go through. PSG, Real Sociedad, I think that's a good game. Lazio, Bayern, I do think that Bayern will still go through even with their poor form. PSV, Dortmund, I think it will be Dortmund. Inter Atletico, that's a good game. Porto, Arsenal, and Napoli, Barcelona. I mean, it could be um, either one of those teams as well. Napoli not playing particularly well at the moment, neither are Barcelona. So, you know, this game is probably one of the more even games, along with Inter Atletico maybe. Um, if you look on paper, it does look even, but I do think it will be straightforward. I do think Real Madrid will most likely go through. I think the odds are Real Madrid favourites, for the first game and for the overall tie. But RB Leipzig can cause surprises, and don't be surprised if they do because um, they are a good side. They are a side that are capable of doing so. Let's look at how they've been playing so far. Their last game away against Augsburg, they drew 2-2. But last game at home to Union Berlin, 2-0 win. They got hammered 5-2 away against Stuttgart. They lost 3-2 at home to Bayer Leverkusen. They lost 1-0 at home to Eintracht Frankfurt. And then there was this friendly. So, look, they're playing pretty well. Champions League wise, obviously they finished second in their group. In a group that had Manchester City. So, in terms of that, it's not surprised that they finished second. Currently fifth in the Bundesliga on 37 points, 18 behind Bayer Leverkusen, 13 behind Bayern Munich, and 6 behind Stuttgart and 3 behind Dortmund. In terms of the top 4 race, they're fifth. They have got good players, and I'm looking at a couple of these players, and I'm thinking these players can individually win them the game or create problems. Luis Openda is a very talented striker, young striker that they brought in from Lens. Xavi Simons, obviously on loan from PSG. Dani Olmo, a very good player. Eljif Armas, from Napoli. Benjamin Sesko, a good player. Baumgartner, decent player there. There's just the attack, they've got a good midfield. Schlager's in there. Haidara, Nicolas Seawout, Kevin Campo. Defensively, they're strong. Castillo Luqueva, Mohamed Simakon, Lucas Klosterman, Honrichs, Raum. This is a good team, and Gulashi in goal. But I'm looking at Xavi Simons as the guy who will win them the game. I'm looking at Luis Openda as the guy who will win them the game. Particularly these two players as well, Simons and Openda. I think they are very, very good players who can win Leipzig the game. And don't be surprised if they do, because they are very good players. Now let's talk about the last two games that we played them. It was last season in the group stages. At home, 2-0 win. Away though, a 3-2 defeat. And it was the game that, it's a different game, because back then they still had Gvardiol, they still had Nkunku, they still had Soboslai, they still had Timo Werner, they still had Forsberg and Silva. So this team has changed. They have brought in Openda and Xavi Simons. If I'm not wrong, Fabio Carvalho was there, but he has gone back to Liverpool, and has gone out on loan to Hull City now. So, look, this is a team that, like I said, can cause problems. Injuries-wise, Haidara is actually injured. For Real Madrid, it's the same. Militao, Courtois, Alaba that we know. Rudiger is still going to be out for another 2 weeks. Nacho, we're not sure when he's going to be back. Apparently, he's got a muscle injury. And Bellingham has just suffered an injury to his left ankle, if I'm not wrong. So that's him out for 2 weeks. So, with that in mind, let's go through the starting 11. In goal, I think it's highly unlikely that Ancelotti will change the keeper for such a game. And he has put the faith and trust to Lunin for the last couple of games, and Kepa seemingly out of favour right now. I was tempted to change, the keepers as my prediction, but I just can't see Kepa starting. I would be surprised and amazed if Kepa starts. So that's the goalkeeper. The defence, I think for such a game, I would play safe and I would go Mendy. I don't think there is a need to play Fran Garcia. You can bring him on, as we always say, when you need a goal or an assist, when you need to change the game, bring Fran Garcia on. Down the left hand side, he will unlock the left side. But to start, I would play Mendy. And on the other side, if Nacho, if Rudiger are both out, which Rudiger is out, but if Nacho is really out, we have no choice, but we have to play Tchouaméni and Carvajal and centre back, which means we have to play Vasquez at right back. So that will mean Lucas Vasquez comes in at right back, and then a centre back duo of Carvajal and Tchouaméni, who played really well together, I thought. The connection between two players who have never played centre back, really, and who have never played with each other in the same position. They have worked well in that one game against Girona. So I would start them if that's the option we have. Similarly, you could play Mendy centre back and Fran Garcia left back as well. You could do that, but I just think that if we don't have any centre backs, I think Ancelotti would start Carvajal at centre back over Mendy. Midfield, I think that Tchouaméni coming back to centre back means you have to start Camavinga, who had a very good game against Girona as well. And then next to him, you have to play Valverde. I think Valverde is a key player into the midfield. And the other midfield spot, don't place Ceballos, Kroos or Modric. I think because Kroos started against Girona, I would start Modric. Big game for him as well. He's a big game player, we know that. I would start Luka Modric. And then the front line, Bellingham out. So for me, I see Brahim Diaz starting over Arda Güler. I think he will come on. I think Arda Güler will now come on for maybe 10 to 15 minutes. Slowly getting back into the rhythm. But I can't see him starting. And Brahim was actually on a pretty good form, when Bellingham was out for that period of time. So I hope Brahim Diaz comes back and, plays well again. And the front two, it's going to be Vini Jr. and Rodrigo. I don't see Joselu playing. I see him coming on if we need a goal as a target man to change the game. But I don't see him starting the game. So it's gonna be that as a front line. Really? So, look, score prediction wise, wow, this will be tough. Away from home, Real Madrid. I'm gonna say 2-1 Real Madrid. I see a narrow 2-1 win away from home. I'm tempted, or I was tempted to say 2-2, but I'm gonna say 2-1 here because I do think that I have to, back my own team. So 2-1 Real Madrid. Let me know what your thoughts are down below. Hope you guys have enjoyed today's preview. Hit the bell instead, subscribe to channel on already, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.